Donovan Davis. I'm the principal design architect at Danze Davis Architects. We have been designing homes in Austin and its area actually since 1960. So we take the long look at problem solving and helping people with their dreams in this town. Today we're going to talk about the house that I designed at 2100 Prather Ln. It's the A unit. There's actually 3 units on this lot, but it's the front house, the A unit. Austin has rules that allow for an accessory dwelling unit in the back. Generally their requirements are a maximum of about 1,100 square feet. Sometimes it's a little smaller depending on the size of the lot. There's a calculation. It's called floor area ratio. You'll hear people in the business talk about FAR, and that's what they're talking about. And then a secondary unit to the primary, which is usually a garage apartment that can be done as well on some lots. So the back house maxes out at 1,100 square feet. And they wanted to maximize the availability of units for the public. People look at me crazy sometimes. They come in to talk to me about doing a house in Austin, and I'll grab my calculator and start working through some numbers immediately and tell them what size house they can build. That's part of what we have to do, is figure out what can be done on a specific lot. The reason for doing 2 or 3 houses on a lot is to provide density for the city, which that's a good thing. It makes less burden on all our transportation systems. The infrastructure does not have to get spread out so far. It leaves more of the green space green. One of the biggest reasons is economics. It's easier to sell, say, one house at $500,000 and another house at $900,000 versus one bigger house, so it's more people can qualify, more people can buy it. The challenge also oftentimes is impervious cover, which the city of Austin has a limit on impervious cover. They don't want somebody going into a lot and just filling it up with concrete, which they want some grass area, the area for the tree roots to breathe. And this lot had several that we were working around. Part of our job is making sure that we protect those trees when we're putting dwelling units in, and that allows for the water to permeate into the ground rather than running off into the creeks and causing a flood event. The challenge with that is when we have multiple units on a lot is making the driveways work. And that's why you often will see driveways where there's strips. You'll see 2 concrete strips and there's a strip of grass between, or gravel or something. And that's because they're getting close to their maximum on the impervious cover. And we chose a little more contemporary materials, chose to have a little more contemporary of a design. When we can do that, it adds drama to the interior of the house, where we can have large cathedral ceilings and gives a more spacious feel. When we know then our footprint that we're working with, then we get to have fun designing the house and creating the spaces. And I'm more of a space creator and a circulation creator for the house. It's a subliminal thing that people don't think about, but a well-designed house, the circulation works very well on it. You don't have a lot of hallways, you don't have a lot of long hallways, and the proportions of the room itself, which that's one of the nice things on this particular house. The family room and also the game room on the 2nd floor has a really nice feel to it, because with the cathedral ceiling, it gives you that about a 1 to 1.5 proportion on the room. And then we also work with privacy to public space and anti-space between there. For the eventual homeowner, you're trying to make it live well for them, where it's an enjoyable place to live, but they can also entertain, they can have people over, and it works well for them. We work really hard to do that. Another part of this house that I really like is when you go up the stairs, they have 3 landings. It's not a straight run stair. You actually walk up and then turn and then turn and come back. Once you get to the top of the stairs, you always want to have openness. And that's something actually my father taught me years ago when we would be designing little bitty houses. You needed to make it feel as big as possible. You still use those same concepts, those same feelings to make it work even better when you have more space to work with. So that's part of good design.